Like for me, it cuts like my canines and like my gums and shit. I don't like it, but I would always get a nacho cheese Doritos if I'm eating a sandwich, or like a burger nacho cheese Doritos. Oh, that's the best combo. I'm not a vegan or vegetarian, or else I would have said that. Neither is my girlfriend, so that's pretty good. Shout out to a bad motherfucker. Pretty much makes me a vegetarian too. All right, your question, man. Wesley's question.
Your favorite? What's your favorite John Hughes film?
I would have to be Breakfast Club.
Oh, okay.
Only because I obviously Molly Ringwald,
Mm-hmm.
but I love that film because of what's the badass fool's name in it? Well, his character. I really liked his character, even though I was like not into like super smoking back then. But I always thought his character was really like fuck it, kind of like raw and uncut. But that movie, it's pretty iconic. It's not something that I'm like, oh, I love Breakfast Club. I love Pretty in Pink. I love Pretty in Pink too because of Ducky. Ducky's really dope. But then again, I feel like it's just that same character from Molly Ringwald, just her own personal story in Pretty in Pink. So I'd have to say Breakfast Club. What about yours?
I will have to go with you on the same thing, Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club is pretty iconic because there's so many good people in it. I mean, young Bombay. Got young Bombay in there.
Emilio Estevez, shout out. Judd Nielsen.
Yeah, it has fucking...
John Bender.
Fucking Ahab, where's my doobage? He's chill, wastoid. You ain't gonna get big. He's like, you ain't gonna blaze up in here. Dude, it just shows like different perspective on like kids back then. Oh, even kids now. It's probably timeless.
Also, shout out to Anthony Michael Hall.
Yep, that fool.
As, Brian.
Edward Scissorhands.
That fool comes out in Halloween Kills, believe it or not.
Really?
As Tommy, yeah.
Does he get killed?
Tommy Doyle. I ain't gonna tell you that. Ain't no spoilers on this show or drop the mic. I'm just saying that. Unless we are talking about a movie that's been out for a while, and we'll put a spoiler.
Well,
alert.
you just reminded me of something, and we're gonna dive deep into this probably for a minute. I'm gonna be coming on the record talking about Scream right now. The last installment of Scream. What do you guys think is gonna happen in this new Scream? I'll let Wesley say what he wants to say first. First of all, it's coming up this Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's Thursday preview night, Friday, January 14th, officially everywhere.
Boom.
Make sure you support that. Go out and support.
If you're
genre.
into classic slasher films, remember that?
Those are two classic slashers, bro.
Yeah, dude, she was right though. But so that movie's coming out this Thursday, and I have a theory that Sydney is the actual killer. And how she is the actual killer is in the first one, she killed her mother. And from then on, she has been in a loony bin. And so all of these characters that have been killed are just kind of like scenarios that have played out in her mind, because how conveniently that she has been alive through this whole thing. She's the ultimate end girl. Is that what you said?
Final girl.
Final girl. And I feel like this new one, she is just going to be talking from an insane asylum, and everybody that was supposedly killed off was just in her mind, and they're going to be there with her as like a final awakening for her, or like final realization. And she's going to be the one with the mask, the one always making it up in her head. I want that to be the ultimate ending for this film.
Or franchise.
If
that really happens, you've went on record saying that you would stop watching movies. Is that correct?
Yes. Stop watching any new movies. I would just keep from 2022, from that movie. I swear to God, back. If I'm 100% correct that she's just an old dementia lady in a fucking psych ward making all this shit up like the Joker, then I will quit movies. I will quit new movies.
I have to say, if you are correct on this, a lot of people will be upset. Shout out to Ryan. I threw this out to him, and that was his response, is like, these filmmakers would have to have the biggest balls on the fucking planet to go along with that idea and be able to execute it.
Well, also, we talked about how the only way, like, Nev Campbell would agree to something after Wes's passing, Wes Craven, would be something that would just be kind of bonkers, or something that would be such a shocker. I want to be just like really high, talking out of my ass, but this is like a stab in the dark.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. That fool's gonna be on the show, on the movie too. All those fools are gonna be on the movie. They're gonna be there.
We don't know, like, for the record, we don't know what
who
is in the film yet. So there's no spoilery talk. These are just theories.
These are just hearsays. These are just shit that I'm like.
But there could be some flashbacks. There could be some kind of paranormal.
Like she talks to old Jedis, like she has the Force.
Yeah, something like that. They've done that. Similar tone in Scream 3, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, which I was saying earlier.
Do you think if they were to do that, would that be more insane? Like that would be more.
Well, you got to think these films are built upon trauma.
Yes.
And these three pivotal characters that have survived through all of this are if we're grounding it in real life, they're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
Both emotionally, physically.
They are gonna have problems for sure.
We just have to think about the trauma that's built up because this is the fifth film.
Yeah.
And so the characters, these surviving characters, are not where they are emotionally or physically as when they started, So they're all in their mid-40s, I would think.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have been, at least I have been talking to Wesley about this, like just ranting about it for a few months now, maybe a few weeks, solid. But we've talked about the fact that when Wes passed away, he had an already kind of like trilogy plan for it or something.
New Age trilogy, yeah, that was starting with Scream 4, and it didn't really do what they wanted at the box office. So, it was written by Kevin Williamson, who wrote all the originals except for 3, which is why 3 is kind of garbage. But he had teamed up with Wes for 4, and they had a new plan because in 2011, when it came out, we were in the brink of Facebook and all of this new kind of new age technology. Cell phones were already prominent. Everybody has one in their pocket. So it's like a really interesting concept to bring Ghostface into because of the stalking on the landlines. How are these new killers going to play into
wasn't there a similar movie where they played upon that with was like the Friend Request or something? Unfriended,
yes,
where it was kind of like a modern day killer when they had like they were very internet and like social media connected.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you have like the what's that called, the what's the dark side, the dark web. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they were going to try to do that with Ghostface?
Pretty much. Because you have to think about integrating like this really fucking 90s concept and bring it in. There's endless possibilities,
Yeah, even back when we were watching it on the VHS and it was like, it's like it was 2021, like not that long ago. It's still relevant, but to me, the way he filmed it was very homage to like an older horror movies film. But it was still kind of done modern with that kind of cheeky self-awareness sometimes. So I would want it to be almost like breaking that fourth wall because it's a memory, because it's a story that she's still kind of fabricating at the time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking, but a lot of it was kind of not comical, but it was still like like, okay, let's say in part 2, right, when Jamie Kennedy's character gets killed off, and it's kind of like, all right, he got stabbed up in a fucking, while these hip hopper kids were going by with the fucking boombox bumping.
Yo, that's fucked up. You guys killed Jamie Kennedy, the Cottonmouth Kings.
Yeah, the Cottonmouth Kings, full like B-Rad. Y'all fools kill B-Rad. What the fuck?
That's disrespectful.
For reals. At least could have did it to like Biggie or Tupac, like something like that, or like. But nah. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's almost comical. But I really like that first movie, and the second one is good. And I want to go on record as to say too that Scream had a lot of huge influence on the scary movie fucking industry. So it's almost like when you have what is that, the like Weird Al Yankovic, right? Like, you're so good that Weird Al Yankovic makes fun of you. Well, that's what they did with like the Scary Movies franchise 1, 2, and 3, but they predominantly took just from the Scream and just made it funny. So it was successful in the part of like it had such an impact in not only the horror genre, but like in the comical genre as well.
Yeah, you have kids nowadays that think that Scream is Scary Movie.
Yeah,
they get them confused.
Yeah, because it's done so integrated so well, but it's like a mirror image, and I like that because it's like you guys have done it so well that it's almost like an homage to you guys, like to Wes Craven. Like, hey, it's almost like, hey, can we do a remix of your guys' fucking hit record?
It's kind of like when they do when SNL does a skit about whatever.
Yeah,
that means that you've made it.
Yeah, and it's like respect to it. So I feel like that, and that's another really good point on what Ryan was saying too, that they would have a lot of balls because they want to keep it kind of traditional. But I'm just saying it from like someone that has probably lived through it through the teenage years and grew up with it, so I'm almost the same age as Sydney. It would be at a point where you would realize, like, maybe I'm kind of crazy, dude. Like, maybe she made all this shit up in her head, like fucking Marv from fucking Sin City. Who knows? I want it to be that way. Not that I don't want to watch movies anymore, but I just want it to be that way because it's so fucking asinine left field. Like, for reals, like, she made all this up? Yeah, fool, she did. So yeah, that's my prediction on Scream. That was a little 12-minute rant on Scream.
All right.
So, I have another question for you if you want another one.
Okay.
What is your favorite 90s animation film?
Okay, and like adult-oriented, I would say the 90s, the first Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
Anime style, and then for like traditional, I would say Pixar's debut, the original Toy Story.
That was in 99 or
no, 95.
95.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Shout out to CJ, because isn't that fool's favorite movie of all time?
Yeah.
I would have to agree with you on the Toy Story. I really do like Toy Story. I forgot that came out in the 90s, dude. I thought that was super 2000s. Anytime I think of Toy Story, I think of like
even Toy Story 2 came out in 97, 98. So it's a pretty old franchise.
I'm gonna go with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, that's 90s?
No, dude. You know what? I think that's 88 or 89, dude.
Let's fact check real quick.
I think that's 88 or 89, and if not, fuck, I'm gonna have to go like what, Cool World or something?
Yeah, it's 1988.
88? Dang.
Shout out to Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, I know. That full circle. Can we give that an honorable mention on the 90s? Because when I first saw it, it was like in 90s.
Okay.
Because that, dude, it feels so 90s to me too. But
it is. And the fact that they did that kind of that ballsy technology,
in
mixing
88?
Yeah, mixing like the two-dimensional characters with live action is just, oh man, what a masterful film.
Yeah, especially because it set way for a lot of different things, like especially stuff that like George Lucas has created. You know, anytime I think of like Roger Rabbit too, I think of like Jar Jar Binks and like how his crazy ass is kind of.
Shout out to Bob Hoskins and Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's still alive, dude.
I know. Bob Hoskins is unfortunately not, so R.I.P.
Yeah, that was Super Mario, bro. That fool was pretty dope in that movie. I would have to say honorable mention to like a Goofy movie.